Howdy Chunky, this is the Voice of Reason and my name's Alex Belfield and this is the most exciting week of my life. Tomorrow at midday we're going to do a little test to see if all the knobs are in the right place. I shall be pushing up my knobs as I slap on my 12-inch and do my big up routine. I won't be doing any of that Bobby Villain nonsense. I'll just be talking about things like dinghy divers and whether or not it's possible to get aroused at my time of life. We've got so much to do at the Voice of Reason and so little time, and there's such little interest from the mainstream media to give me a chance to reappear. It now turns out that I'm being shadow banned at YouTube. The figures that we see behind the system in the studio prove that since Wednesday with my live phone-in, they're not showing anybody unless you come here. Obviously, the dark forces at the mainstream media who've been trying to get YouTube to cancel me, axe me, and shut off the channel completely have failed. Instead, they've done a compromise where they're just not going to allow me to grow, which is totally unethical and outrageous, but typical in this no free speech world, in this virtue signalling woke-tard place where we have to walk around on eggshells and we can't talk about the truth. I'll be talking about Matt Hancock in a moment, and I'll give you some truth there. Oh, by the way, we've got gay fire engines this year. We know that we had in the past, didn't we, those wonderful, fabulous bumblebees up in Manchester, which cost £800 each. Yes, this is virtue signalling at its best. A complete waste of fucking public money, along with these gay benches in dogging parks that are unfortunately not going so well. I didn't have a very nice time at school, which was the reason that I'm so angry and I need to go to at the camera and rant and rave. I wasn't attractive as a young boy, and no teacher wanted to stop me whatsoever. In fact, our teachers, Mrs. Smeggleswaite, was so boring she wouldn't even lend me her rubber. Well, it turns out that we have wonderful teachers now who are busy getting pissed with their students, having the time of their lives. I only wish my teachers looked like this young lady. Very nice. And this is the future of education. I would give her a Pride of Britain award if I were her, and give her a brand new car covered in LGBTQ rainbow colours. Fabulous stuff. Public money, remember. We mustn't forget that. So I had an email this morning, very interestingly, I'll tell you about it at alexbelfield.com, from somebody who appeared in the court case who now wants an interview. This on top of the fact that one of the victims has signed up twice and paid twice to be at my website. It's very odd, my case, isn't it? It's not like usual cases. It seems all the rules are different, where the BBC end up putting the file to the police and the police end up ignoring judges over bail, and then I go to prison, and then suddenly people are signing up to stalk me and indeed want interviews. This is very peculiar. Anyway, the book, by the way, is now going to be in today. We've got another 1,000 copies because it went better than we could have dreamed. Thank you to everybody who is feeding back the wonderful compliments and kind things about it. You're not going to be stupid enough, are you, to be an enemy and spend $12.99 on a book of a man that you believe you hate? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I thank you for your money, because when I'm off flying to Barbados in the near future, I can't wait to spend your money in the duty-free on Lambert and Butler. Fabulous. Right, let's talk about Matt Hancock. Yesterday, not a lot of people are talking about this in the media, I notice. He was held to account. I don't like Matt Hancock for many reasons. He said a terrible thing about my friend Andrew Bridgen. That's currently going through the courts, so we'll leave that there. But I don't like people who lie. And I've got into a lot of bother over people who lie and say things that aren't true. And I do not believe that Andrew Bridgen is anything other than a wonderful patriot of this country who fought over the vaccines, the jab, the lockdown and the mask to bring sense to the country. Now, I just want to play you a clip of little Matt Hancock, who I don't understand. I don't understand a word this man says. He is very strange, and I think he's special. And I think he's got a unique thing about him that sets him aside, and I think he was in a class of his own at school, probably remedial. And this is the man who, of course, was the health secretary during COVID, who answers a question like this.
It's unclear from this whether there will be cases means there will be cases of adverse reactions, although we knew that there would be.
Yes.
Because there were in the clinical trials. The question with a vaccine is whether it is net positive in expectation of taking it, and they were only approved where they were net positive.
So
hold on, but he may have been referring to there will be cases like Aradazai where somebody gets a case after vaccination.
So did he know what we were trying to tell you here, that so many of my colleagues, including people like Anna Breeze, got cut off for by talking to doctors who knew the facts? Did he know? So there you go. So what happened to Boris and his GB News show? What happened to all these people who were having parties at the time they were telling you to stay at home and save the NHS? We tried our best during COVID, me and the team, my team of YouTubers who sat here keeping ourselves alive as well as keeping you sane. That's what you tell us. We just tried to bring some levity and facts. I was the first one to keep banging on about the ONS, the Office of National Statistics, fact that the average age of death was 82.5, which it still is. Yet they wanted to jab babies. We better not talk about it here. So here's the deal with YouTube. There's no point me making videos if nobody's going to see them. Our stats have gone down from 250,000 a video to virtually nothing, because they've stopped people seeing them. So they're obviously, unfortunately, playing to the tune of the mainstream media, who have a witch hunt and a vendetta that started in 2020 and still continues. They don't want me here saying this, clearly, because if they did, they'd have a life, they'd get out of mine, and they would go and do something else like proper journalism, maybe looking for grooming gangs in their patch, opposed to trying to stop a YouTuber who's just trying to entertain the nation. Well, thank God I've now got my 8 servers, thanks to Network Nick at alexbelfield.com, where I can say what the fuck I like. So it doesn't matter. But it is a shame that we live in a country where people like Anna Breeze during COVID, who was trying to tell you about the potential risk of the jab, ended up being silenced and gagged. And it affected her profoundly. And people like Andrew Bridgen had their careers ended by people like Matt Hancock, who accused him of being anti-Semitic, which I do not believe he is. I believe him to be a hero and a patriot. And people like me who ended up in prison. Yet the very people who put me in prison are signing up to my website and paying to do so. And then people who appeared in court are asking for interviews. It's a strange old world, isn't it? alexbelfield.com, alexbelfield.com for the hard of thinking. The merch is back up, by the way. We'll be doing lots more of that. Got my Jelly Wobblers t-shirts coming, and the book is back in today, and it will be sent out if you've ordered it on Monday morning, and it will be with you first class as we send all our mail. Thank you. You've made my dreams come true. Being here is amazing. If they cut me off now, it doesn't make any difference because we're already over the hurdle. All I wanted to do was come back and show you I'm not dead. And look, I'm not dead. This couldn't have gone any better. Today, I'm off to Sadiq Khan's London, and it's going to be very nice. Sadiq is an interesting character who has single-handedly destroyed our capital. I probably will be stabbed. I was safer, by the way, in Fossway, where people get murdered. I was safer in prison, where people get stabbed every day, than I will be going to London. But I'm going to go and have some fun and some nice food. And then tomorrow at midday, we'll be back with the phone-in at alexbelfield.com at midday for a test. It won't be a proper thing, just to see whether my knobs are in the right place. This is the most exciting time of my life. Sunday at 9, the phone-in's back. 90 minutes of your gobshiting where you can say anything. I'm the only man in British media brave enough to take live calls live. Yes, there's no producer. Tarquin's there in the background working me from behind, but he doesn't take any of the calls. I press a button, and I'm brave enough to take whatever you want to throw at me. You can ask me anything. There is only one rule, and I'll tell you what that is tomorrow at midday at alexbelfield.com. Other than that, the news is back on Monday morning, and that's at 6 o'clock, where I sit here for 30 minutes just going through everything I want to go through and tell you every bit of news that matters. Oh, and London, by the way, don't expect to go for fish and chips and not have a heart attack. Look at this young man. Oh, by the way, the hookers in Times Square are even worse. So thank you to the people at YouTube who have shadow banned me and stopping people seeing me. I understand what's going on, but I appreciate you not cutting me off yet. We are here while stocks last. 9 o'clock Sunday night for the phone-in and 6 a.m. for the news Monday morning. I'm just so glad to be back. And it doesn't matter the efforts that the dark forces at the mainstream media are going to shut me up. The question you should be asking is not whether I'm going to end up dead in London today or whether I'll end up back in prison. But why are the mainstream media so scared of what I might say? And why are people so terrified by the words that I use? That's the most important question. If you missed the videos yesterday, by the way, you got to meet my mother. She is on here. If you look under the videos, it won't come up because they're not showing you. I went to see my duckies yesterday. Look, 2 little storks in the middle of my country park, and I fed their 5 little babies. Gorgeous, gorgeous 2 little storks. And, of course, yesterday I brought you the news of...
So long, left me standing all alone, alone and crying.
Rachel from accounts, who unfortunately must have been coming on or coming off. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. 9 o'clock live, Sunday, with the phone in back at alexbelfield.com. Tra last.
Do you hear that? That was the voice of fucking reason, wasn't it?
Don't trust the mainstream media. They'll make your teeth itch. Alex Belfield's voice of reason.